Here we go. All right, so here with Jason Rearick, Volunteer Spotlight of the Month. So we're going to try something new here and do a video interview and just talk a little bit because all of us on the Mission Flight team, we like to get to know you a little bit, Jason, and I know not everybody's had a chance to meet you in person quite yet anyways, especially with some of the COVID restrictions that we're under, but I just wanted to highlight some of the things that you're up to, some of the things you've been doing, hear a little bit about your family and background and stuff like that. So maybe we can just start with just some of your roles that you're playing at with Mission Flight, your volunteer roles, what you're doing. And so, yeah, tell us a little bit about how you're volunteering with Mission Flight.
Oh, well, thank you, Mike. One of the roles that I have with Mission Flight is doing pilot proficiency checks and then check rides with our pilots. So it's a really awesome role that I was trusted to be put upon by working with Mike and then Jack Hardy. So when new pilots sign up for Mission Flight, they go on the line website, they fill out all their information, but then we get this big list. And something that's very important to Mike is to make sure that when we're transporting passengers, you know, that there's an expectation that there's a quality of service there. And so my job is to make sure that we're holding to a certain standard, that when a passenger gets in an aircraft, that we're able to maintain the safety that they're looking for. And, you know, there's always room for us to learn as pilots. You know, when you get your pilot's license, you're always learning. And so our job with this is to identify some of the weaknesses. We all have them. I have a lot, more than most probably. We identify those weaknesses and then we kind of build on them. That way, so we're providing a great service when we take our passengers down there. They feel safe, they feel comfortable, and they want to continue doing Mission Flight trips, because that's the most important thing for us, is to make sure that we have the dentists, we have the volunteers, the hygienists. Without them, there really is no Mission Flight. We're more of like the bus driver in the sky, to say. So that's what I do. So I think that's it for that.
Yeah, the pilot coordinator role it's such an important role. And you had mentioned working with Jack Hardy, and so it's a real blessing to be able to have another volunteer like Jack to be on the team.
Yeah, and there's a lot of work with it. I enroll my daughter. We have somewhere between anywhere from 40 to 60 pilots that we try to track. And there's a lot of pieces. Pilots have medicals. They have different certifications that expire. They have to have their flight reviews done. They have to have a certain number of hours. And then we have these whole instrument rules that we have to follow to make sure that there's currency along with proficiency. So there's a lot of stuff. Can't do it alone. Super, super glad that my daughter's willing to help me. And actually all the people are able to jump in on this task.
Yeah, Sarah, your daughter's awesome. So tell us a little bit about this super exciting thing called Mission Flight Academy that you and I have been just praying over and dreaming about for a while, and it's finally, it's actually finally coming to fruition. So tell us about that.
Yeah, it's hard to explain how this is working out without saying it's all God. Because he is given resources and he is just kicking open doors, because I'm definitely a paycheck to paycheck guy, but we are able to, the Lord is moving mountains for us. So in summary, so Mission Flight Academy is what we're trying to develop. And the vision here is a gateway. It's a tool, it's a resource where a flying club / training center, where the students and the people that go to just to love to fly, they're renting the airplanes. They're paying a fee for that airplane, which is maintaining the aircraft. It's maintaining the maintenance on it. We're being able to put the money back into the aircraft, make sure that they have GPS, they can shoot the approaches, they're as safe as can be. But all that cost is covered by people just flying an airplane. Instead of them flying with some other regular rental school, we'd rather have them rent with us. The money goes back in the plane. Now we have these resources that Mission Flight can tap into. So we're tracking pilots, we're tracking qualifications, we're maintaining aircraft, and then when it's time to do a mission trip, all those resources get rolled up and to include the pilots, and they're getting training. I mean, this is just only God could do this, to make a win, 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 win. And then we're able to provide that service, go downrange with our to do our volunteer work. So it's in its infancy. You know, we got 2 planes now, working on 3. We need to build that fleet up. the idea is to have multiple planes in multiple locations so people can just go rent them, maybe French Valley, maybe a plane at El Monte, maybe a plane at San Bernardino. And when it's time to do a mission trip, we gather these resources and we go downrange.
Yeah, awesome. I think we actually have the 4 planes. We got the 401, the Cherokee 6, the 172,
Yep.
and the 150.
Yep, that's right.
Starting out with 4 planes. It's like awesome.
Yep.
It's incredible what God is doing. So Mission Flight Academy is going to be starting up here real soon. It'll be its own 501c3. You're willing to be the director and the president of that as its own corporation. So thank you for willing to just follow and serve the Lord in that way. So more to come on that, but it's really exciting and an exciting place to be right now. And like you had said, there's going to be other locations or chapters that will be opening up.
Yep.
And, so this is a reproducible model. It's scalable. We can serve a lot of different areas with a kind of a high standard template, and be able to kind of standardize the quality of the pilot and the quality of the aircraft. And so it's pretty exciting. Tell us a little bit about you. Maybe what's your vocational background? What do you do these days?
So it's complicated. Always very busy. So my full-time job is I work in the military. I work at March Air Reserve Base. I'm a civilian and I'm a reservist, so I do 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, but I work on computers. That's kind of been the trait that I've always done since getting out of high school. Just always been drawn to writing programs or fixing a computer. It's very, very logical for me, so it comes natural. So that's the full-time job. It kind of burnt out. I'm ready to retire out of the military and been pursuing an aviation career for about 11 years. As you know, if you're a pilot, it's something that takes a long time to build the hours and the certifications, and it's highly expensive, unfortunately. And so I've been chipping away at that. And then my goal is where the Lord leads. If maybe a missionary pilot full-time would be outstanding, or an airline pilot, and then be able to donate a lot of my time back to mission flight. So that's kind of where I want to go in the future. And I just take it one step at a time. I've been so blessed with the jobs that I have because now I'm a flight instructor. I work at CBU, and then I work at 2 other flight schools, all part-time. So It's a really, really good mix of stuff.
Right. That's great. CBU, Cal Baptist University in Riverside. Shout out to Jesse Seipen, another mission flight friend and volunteer, and he's the chief instructor there. So tell us about your family.
Yeah, so I'm married to my wife, Michael Ann. She has a boy's name, but she's actually named after her dad, so it's kind of unique. I get a good kick out of that here and there. But with 3 kids, so Sarah, Logan, and Austin. And but my kids are 13, 15, 17. So it's hard to keep track. Everybody's got, the boys are in Boy Scouts. Hopefully Logan finishes his Eagle Scout this year. Austin is cranking away on his first class. And then Sarah, she's just a trooper all around. She'll be going to college next year. I'm so blessed with my kids that the Lord put just a good head on their shoulders. And, they're still developing their faith. As you know, it's a lifelong thing where you got to continue to grow. And so they're working on their faith as life throws them different challenges. And it's kind of neat to stand beside them and watch them go through the struggles that they go through, and to be able to seek the Lord for the right decisions and to kind of divine the world from spiritual things. So no, super, super blessed with my family. My wife is just a rock star. My dad is getting older. And so as we live in tents, as you know, and they're falling apart. So my dad lives with us. My wife is just amazing supporter with handling that. That's never easy, living with an elderly parent, but she is an amazing woman. So so that's the family.
Awesome. You had mentioned faith. Tell me a little bit about your faith background, your faith journey. What's that like for you?
So my faith is, I was kind of born, raised Christian. I went to a Christian school, but never really latched onto it the way I should have. Never really developed a relationship. kind of went through the motions. Hey, you got to go to church on Sunday, or you're going to feel bad. And if you should listen to Christian music, and if you don't, you feel bad. And so I kind of drawn away, just never been a real wild person, but just kind of just doing whatever I can to get through. And then right around 1998, I was saved, born again. A friend invited me to a church, and that started a fire, but it never really picked up until right around probably about 2004. My wife, bless her heart, was really drawn to the Lord and got us involved with a Calvary Chapel. And what really made a difference is we started to serve. And when we started to serve, we started getting our hands dirty, just working. We were teaching midweek service she was, and I was more of crowd control. And we did that for several years, and then kind of got hooked on through a good friend of mine, Jay Vernon McGee. And that is the rock of my spiritual growth. You know, I'm on the 5-year Bible bus proudly, and starting to get off some of the milk and getting into the meat and potatoes of the scripture. So my faith has always been there and behind the scenes, but now I'm more and more trusting and relying on God and his provisions. It's hard to do, just to kind of let go. And it's hard when you get a flat tire to say, Lord, what are you trying to teach me here? So I still need work on that, but that's my heart, and that's what I keep trying to do.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's neat. Well, any other, I don't know, fun fact or any little tidbit that you'd like to share with the Mission Flight family?
I don't know. I mean, I got so many different hobbies. It's incredible. So one thing I do like is bees. It's weird. So we have 3 beehives at our house. Just went and captured another hive from a neighbor that they didn't want it. So I'm really fascinated with bees. The problem is that I'm highly allergic to them, and so are my children. If I get stung on the face or the ear, I'm not going to die, but I end up growing a second face. If I get stung on the hand, I start turning into the Hulk. My wife just is so irritated with me for messing with the bees because I get stung every day.
Wow, that is hilarious. I had no idea. Well, thanks so much. Thanks for your heart to serve and really living your faith out in tangible ways. And I know I've really enjoyed being able to connect with you on a spiritual level and connect with you on just a heart-to-heart, brother-to-brother friendship level, and really listen to God together for these next steps. And as God is, growing Mission Flight rapidly, I appreciate the wisdom and the insight that you share and those that you bring to the table, and just be able to just really turn our ear upward together and just kind of listen together. It's very meaningful. It's meaningful to me personally. It's meaningful to us as an organization, and so I just can't say thank you enough. So thank you for your yes. Thank you for your partnership.
Thank you.
Yeah, just the way that you have just jumped in. Yeah. So thanks. All right.
You're welcome.
Well, I know you're actually at CBU right now, so we'll let you get back. You've got a long line of students that are waiting, so we'll let you go. And if people have any interest, questions, or want to learn more, just go to missionflight.org.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Yeah. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.